Hi, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Spartan Sports Report here on TV3. And Sam and I are happy to have a couple of guests here tonight.
Yeah, a couple of track coaches.
Sam, next to you is?
Coach Kelly.
All right, and next to me is Coach Cooley. Coach of what? We'll ask him. What do you coach, Jeff?
We coach track and field together.
Okay, that's great. Well, we're bound to have a winning season if you two are working on this together.
It's a lot of pressure right off the bat for
what's the outlook for CHS in track and field this spring?
I think the girls-wise, we have a lot of returners, so we should have a pretty good team. Last year we lost a lot of senior boys, and so we'll have a lot of spots that we have to fill. On that side.
Be a lot of competition. We've got a lot of kids coming out.
We seem to, yeah. We've started our voluntary portion indoors, and we've had good turnout. So yeah, we're expecting some good numbers. Okay,
Kelly, since you're going undefeated, tell us about your team.
The girls didn't graduate anyone last year, so like Coach Cooley said, we have a lot coming back.
Good.
And hopefully we have some strong freshmen coming in. I know we have some gymnasts that are coming that are going to help a lot. There were some very strong 8th graders last year that we're looking forward to having. And I think it's really it's gonna help. I know we've got another good year coming.
That's great.
Yeah.
Sam, I know you like to run, so you might talk about running.
Yeah, I was reading something out of Proverbs a while ago to John about running without somebody behind you. I don't know what it was, but it kind of fit.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure, right. Season's right around the corner. Here we are in February, and winter sports winding down, so that means spring sports about to begin.
Yeah, we actually we start next Monday, official practice after school. Weather permitting, we'll be outside and ready to go. Okay,
and when's your first competitive things happen?
We are indoor on March 2nd at East Central's indoor facility, and then the next weekend on Saturday we're at Anderson. And then about a month after that, we start with our Centerville meet outdoors.
Okay. What can you do at these first two events? What happens?
Well, there's an opportunity. There's actually a state indoor meet.
Okay.
So Hoosier State Relays. The top 24 in each event qualify for that. So those two meets are basically a qualifying meets to get you qualified for the Hoosier State Relays.
So they have all the events that you will be using during the season?
No, they don't have. It's a scaled down number of events, but they have probably about half. They have some little quirky indoor stuff too, but it's a pared down version of the outdoor meets.
Okay. People come to watch?
Yeah, people come to watch.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Good.
There's usually a decent crowd at East Central.
Indoors fun to watch. They have a 60-meter dash, and the finish line is, 10 meters in front of a wall that's padded, and so you watch these kids run as hard as they can straight into a wall. People enjoy that aspect of it. A lot of the indoor events are shorter. For me as a distance coach, there aren't that many options. The only event that qualifies, we have the 4x8 and the 2 mile are the only two events that qualify for the indoor state. Everything else is not run competitively. So it's just different.
Yes. Yeah. Did you guys do track when you were in school?
I didn't. No.
I did. I ran 4 years of cross country and 4 years of track in high school, and I also ran 4 years of each in college.
Oh gosh. Have any medals or ribbons?
I have a few.
All right. Congratulations on your achievements and everything. Are you going to catch up with her?
No,
there's no way.
I don't think so.
He's kind of a distance guy out on the street, I see.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. The old man age group.
Who are some of the kids you're counting on?
Well, on the boys' side, we lost. What did we lose? 10 or 11 seniors.
We did.
So it's kind of up in the air, to be honest. I mean, there's opportunity after opportunity on the boys' side. We we're open. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, I would say outside of Dylan Cox will be a strong competitor for us.
Brendan.
Brendan Robinson in the shot and the disc. Those are two guys, but competition will be fierce for those spots. Like I said, I'm going to guess 90% of our scoring is gone from last year. So
Wow.
So we're going to have some competition for some spots, which is good.
Yeah. We graduated our entire 4x1. Both of his varsity sprinters. His backup moved. We graduated both of our pole vaulters. We graduated Wes Smith, which was one of my dominant distance runners. So we're struggling now, but I think once all the winter sports are over and we start to see who we're going to get, there is going to be a lot of competition for those spots. But almost the entire sprint side of things are open right now, and it's a scary place to be as coach.
Sure, I can understand. How did the last year's teams do? You had some kids that went pretty far, didn't you, in the postseason?
We had several kids making to the regional.
That's what I thought.
The regional meet, yeah. We had a decent year.
You mentioned Wes. He went to IU or
He's at Indiana
IU
East, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and he is running competitively for them.
Okay, great. Well, I know we wish him the best of luck in that. Is he the only one that moved on to college and is in track?
Out of last year's group,
Is it?
yes.
Yeah.
Are there certain events that we would be more strong with? That
On the boys' side of things, we have some younger distance runners coming back that are quite talented. And like Mr. Coley said, we have the mid-distance, we have our strong captain, Dylan Cox, and we have Brendan coming back. On the girls' side of things, we have Jessica Beckman, who...
She's a strong girl.
Yes, who won the shot and the disc both last year at the sectional. We have a good amount of distance runners. The girls 4x8 won the sectional. They're all coming back. We're pretty well-rounded there. We have a sprinter coming in that's going to really help.
A couple girl sprinters actually that will really help.
Yeah, to shape up that side of the track. But we look pretty good on the girls' side. We know what's coming and we know what we have. That's a luxury we don't have on the boys' side.
And some of those that maybe were on the girls' basketball team, their season's done, so they'll be able to start right away with you then.
Yes.
Yeah, they will.
On Monday.
I think they're turning in their equipment tonight, and some of them I would fully expect some of them will be out tomorrow. A couple of them expressed that to me today.
Unfortunate their season came to
It
an
is,
end.
yeah.
But,
It is, but we're happy to have them.
I'm sure you are.
Yes.
About the boys' team, any kids playing basketball, do they come out, Jack?
Jake Brown high jumps for us and runs the hurdles.
Good.
I'd like to get more out, but unfortunately, I think that's all we have. Now we do have some freshman boys that play on the freshman team that have expressed interest.
There are several, so we're anxiously awaiting to see if they show up.
They've had their game rescheduled from last week, so they're finished on Wednesday.
Right,
so.
they're meeting Greenfield Central, I
Right,
think, the freshmen.
right.
You have a feeder. I know middle school doesn't have a track team.
Yeah.
Oh, do they?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, middle school does.
Oh, okay.
It's
I forgot.
really
that.
it's a pretty good feeder program. We have a full complement of coaches, and they come out, and the last 2 years, one or 2 years, they've been coming out, and they'll practice alongside of us just to get used to the routines and the things that we do, and so we have a pretty strong feeder program.
That's good. That's good. Well, your season starts in March and it runs till when?
Well, it can run. It depends on how far you go. I think
State meets are in June.
The state meets are in June.
We would like for it to run that far.
Sure.
It will be. The sectional is middle of May. The regionals the next week, and then the state meet. So, it's kind of up to the individual how far and how long we go.
It's about a 10-week regular season, probably.
It starts
March,
in
April,
March.
in the middle of May.
It's one of the longer seasons when you put the training into it as well.
Sure. How long does a typical practice session last?
That's an interesting question because each discipline requires different things. Like the distance, Coach House's distance kids do a lot, usually, generally speaking, a lot longer workout than my sprint kids would do. So,
Okay.
and then what we try to do is get them their running workout, and then they'll go do their field event stuff like pole vault and long jump, high jump. So a couple hours,
Okay.
give or take.
What do you guys look for in a person that wants to, somebody that wants to run track or field? What kind of an athlete do you need?
Depends on what we're looking for. You know, the last month probably we have been watching a lot of kids in physical education class and pointing out, you know, I think, you know, you have a really good 40 time. Have you ever thought about running track? You're pretty quick. There are other times where we can look at a kid and, you know, you're pretty strong. Have you ever thought about pole vaulting? You know, it's just watching the kid
Sure.
and what they're good at. Some kids running just comes really natural to. Those are typically the distance runners. It's really easy to tell when you've been doing it, as long as we have what a kid might potentially be good at.
Yes.
It's just they have to have the same interests that we have in their abilities, and sometimes that falls short.
The distance runners are the kids we see running around on the streets and sidewalks.
Yeah, those are typically my kids and the cross-country kids.
Okay.
They're usually the ones out in packs all over town.
Okay.
Yeah, if one of my kids is running downtown, it means he's being chased. They don't like the distance. They don't like the distance.
There's something called basketball show happening. You guys have heard about that? Jeff,
I've heard about
you've
that.
Heard about it,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've heard about
that round ball
So we got
stuff.
a big win against Lawrence.
We've got a very big win
Mr.
against
Jack
Lawrence
Kiefer.
North. It made Sam happy, made me happy, made
I
the
think it
fans
made everybody
happy.
happy. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an exciting ball game Saturday afternoon at Spartan Bowl, an afternoon game because all the boys play on Saturday afternoons because of the girls possibly being in the sectional finals. So that's a great way they work together and everything.
Makes sense.
But it was an exciting ball game from start to finish. Second week in a row that we played in Indianapolis. Second week in a row that we sent the Indianapolis teams back home, making a long trip on the bus. So we'll play more Indianapolis schools. What do you think?
Right.
And we have this thing going with Indianapolis right now.
Absolutely.
It was a great win over Lawrence North, and we have TV3 was there, of course, and we have some highlights from that ball game right now. Let's take a look at them right now. Spartan is getting ready to entertain the Lawrence North Wildcats under Coach Jack Kiefer, the second winningest coach in Indiana right now, with over 1,000 games coached at Lawrence North. That was the beginning of the ball game. So Noah Belt go in for a layup and a couple of points.
Forget his name, but he had a couple offensive fouls early for Lawrence North, number 5.
Blake Harrison, a very physical game from start to finish, and the referees did a good job keeping it under control. Everything.
Yeah, when you don't notice the refs, they're doing a good job. I didn't notice them much.
Jacob Brown, number 50, going in for one of his close-in shots. Jacob had a good game, as did all the kids. And that's our halftime score. Spartans down by 5, and which probably wasn't a surprise to many people because the Spartans were the underdog going into the ball game. This was a ranked team, one of the 2 ranked teams that the Spartans have on the schedule. Greensburg, the other ranked team, but these guys are ranked 4th and 5th, along as to which poll that you checked. And we knew we would have our hands full when they came to Spartan Bowl.
We were able to control the tempo, and that was big.
Absolutely. They scored an average of 65 points a game, and they got 39 at Spartan Bowl. So that kind of shows the type of defense that the Spartans were able to play Saturday afternoon.
You can see how rough and tumble that it was there.
It was. Noah Belt took a pretty good hit. Coach Brown called a timeout to give him a chance to kind of recoup a little bit on the bench, but the kids stayed in the ball game. We've had some very physical ball games.
Jake Brown's doing a good job against the big guys the last 2
Right,
weeks.
he's improving day by day, and Jeff, I know you're happy to have him on your team.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was a last-second shot, and it was Jacob Brown as they worked the ball to him. They pulled the defense of Lawrence North away from the goal, and Jacob got into the basket, and they worked the ball to him and up and in. And
There was the victory bell. We back in the late '60s when I was there, that victory bell came out on the floor. It's been around a while.
we like for it to get a lot of use.
Yes, sir.
That's right. That's right. Sports this week at CHS on Tuesday. The Spartan basketball team tangles with the Batesville Bulldogs at Spartan Bowl. Girls swimming will be in the regional at New Palestine. On Wednesday, it will be the freshman basketball team meeting Greenfield Central at the CHS gym. That's a 6 o'clock start on Wednesday. On Thursday, the Spartan basketball varsity game with East Central and JV game 2. Spartan Bowl will be the scene of the action. Friday, the girls swimming finals continuing Saturday at the IUPUI pool. And Saturday, Spartan basketball at Spartan Bowl against the New Palestine Pesky Dragons, and the wrestling semi-state will be at Newcastle. Tell us about some of the guys that were successful in the wrestling regional at Richmond, Jeff.
I believe, if I recall off the top of my head, Evan Schaefer and Zach McQueen and Blake Bushy and Colton Massey all went to the going to advance on to the semi-state.
Right.
I know that
That's great.
Evan was third. I spoke with him today. I'm not sure what place. Actually, I do know Zach McQueen told me he was third. So a lot of those 4 guys advancing, that's excellent.
It sure is for our wrestling team, and I know the coaches are real happy to see these kids go on.
No, absolutely.
And if they're successful at Newcastle, they'll move to the state finals, and that's in Indianapolis.
Yeah, that's an Indianapolis.
Is
Banker's Life, I think, is it?
I believe so.
I'm
yeah.
not sure.
I think
think
Banker's
is that
Life
where
is
it's
where they
at?
have
Okay,
it. Mhm.
yeah.
It's a big deal when they do. I mean, they put a lot of people in there for that state tournament.
Yeah, it's a real coming thing in the IHSAA. They do a good job with
Yes, they do.
with their tournaments and everything. But and then we had a Spartan football player. It was Braden Schaefer, who played in the East-West All-Star game of a high school East-West All-Star game on January the 29th in Dallas, Texas, AT&T Stadium. That where the Cowboys
That's
played.
a big deal.
Yeah,
That is a big deal.
Yeah, he was on that team. I'm not sure which one won, but Braden was honored to represent Connorsville in that game, and that was super. I'm
Yeah,
really
that's
happy
great.
to hear about that. So, and it will be, I understand, televised on ESPN3 on February the 14th. I don't know what the time is, but I know that's a great thing.
Valentine's Day, you can turn that on. You and your sweetheart can watch it.
Watch Braden.
Well, we congratulate all the kids, and we have a great sports program at CHS. And,
Yes, we do.
And the kids do really well. They keep up their studies, which is most important. Yeah. And you guys, you have to be sure the academics are all in place and okay.
Oh, yeah. Well, Coach Duncan takes care
Okay.
of the checking on, but yeah, we keep up with our athletes and make sure that they're doing the right thing academically.
Coaches or kids come to you guys and for advice and counseling and things?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it
Just
happens.
mentioned
yeah.
that today.
And you go to somebody for counseling, Jeff? I mean,
People say I should.
but no, coaches, I mean, it takes a special person, Sam, doesn't it? I mean,
Yeah, it does, and you know, I think we're very fortunate here at Connorsville. You know, we got 2 great coaches with us here tonight,
Yes.
and the ones we're associated with from all of the athletic programs, and not only are they coaches, I think they are mentors in many ways
Yes.
for these young people.
Absolutely.
Somebody, and sometimes they may need to talk to somebody that they don't necessarily want to say something to their parents right away,
Right.
but about any issue. But I know these coaches are there for them, and on those types of issues as well.
Yeah, I think the kids look at coaches as an extension of their family, really. I mean, I think you probably experienced that when you were running track.
Absolutely.
Sam said you need to talk to somebody every so often and get their view. But no, we're really fortunate here in Connersville, I think, to have a fine group of people that do our coaching. And the middle school down to the elementaries, I mean, it shows.
It does. It does. It's good, positive, no matter what sport they're involved in.
And all the young kids Saturday afternoon that they brought out on the floor, the elementary basketball up through to the middle school and everything. It was great to see.
It was. It
It really was.
8th grade red team got a pretty good round of applause there. Undefeated,
Well,
39-1 the last
for
2
two
years.
seasons, that's not bad. That
pretty good.
deserves applause, right?
Yeah,
And
it does.
these 8th graders, of course, will be freshmen next year. And I know Cody Smith is looking forward to that.
Yeah.
These kids becoming freshmen that he can coach.
Yes.
So it should be, I think, a pretty good shape, the sports system at CHS.
I think so too, and it starts with the coaches. I think that for that positive influence that they have,
Yes.
and making the environment such that they want to come and compete.
And all those guys are volunteers, and gals are volunteers, I think. So that's really nice. The middle school sports this week, girls basketball, the boys are finished, as we talked about. Monday, the red team's at Richmond Test, and Wednesday, the 7th graders go to Rushville, and the 8th graders are home to Rushville. And we will see that the screen goes blank, so we will try to find out here what happens. Maybe they can get that thing fixed here in a second for us. The wrestling team will be at Union County on Thursday, so I know those young guys are doing pretty good in wrestling and everything. So we're happy to see that the middle school is on the ball here. And
Now we're back
providing
up.
us. Okay, thanks, John, in the control room. The Monday, the white team is at Richmond Dennis at Hagerstown Tuesday, and the 8th graders, these are the girls basketball players, are home to Rushville on Wednesday. And as we mentioned, the wrestling team will be at Union County on Thursday. Here are the records of area basketball teams. Richmond is 8-10. They lost 53-48 at New Palestine. They'll be at Kokomo Friday. Home Saturday with Logansport. Union County is 11-7. They won 77-56 over Cambridge City. Home with Northeastern on Tuesday. Home Friday with North Decatur. Rushville is 7-9. They lost 76-47 at Greensburg. They're home with Batesville Thursday. Home Saturday with Beech Grove. Franklin County is 1-13. Lost 47-31 to Hagerstown. They'll be at Harrison, Ohio on Tuesday. Home Friday with Greenfield Central. Saturday they go to Switzerland County. Cambridge City 6-9, lost 77-56 to Union County at Winchester Friday, at Edinburgh on Saturday. Centerville is 2-14. They lost 65-46 at Winchester. Home Friday with Blue River at Waldron on Saturday. Conference current standings. We might talk about, Sam, a couple of conference games coming up for the Spartans this week.
Yeah, we got 2 big conference
Yes.
games this week. Tomorrow night, Tuesday night, Batesville at the Bowl, and then Thursday night, the East Central Trojans will be there.
Right.
After that, we still have a couple conference games left. And,
Lawrenceburg and Franklin County.
Lawrenceburg and Franklin County. We need to win those out, and we
Yes.
need East Central, the last game of their regular season, to take care of
At
business with
Greensburg.
Greensburg so that we can have a share of the conference title.
That's right. That's right. Let's look at the standings right now. Greensburg is in top spot, 6-0, 17-1 overall. East Central is 3-0 in the conference, 13-5. Batesville is 3-1. They're 11-5 on the season. Spartans are 2-1, 10-7 on the season. Lawrenceburg is 2-2 in the conference, 7-9 on the season. Rushville is 2-4, 7-9 on the season also. South Dearborn is 1-5, they're 6-11, and Franklin County is 0-6, they are 1-13 on the season. It will be, as we pointed out, Batesville moving into Connersville tomorrow night. Bulldogs 11-5. Their last game was a 73-69 victory over Madison Saturday night, and they have a 5-game winning streak going right now. East Central is 13-5. They lost to Columbus North in their last game. That was Saturday night. Final score was 58-43, and New Palestine's 11-6. They won 53-48 over Richmond, and the Dragons will be coming in here on Saturday night. So some winning teams for that.
Yeah, three tough games coming up, and
Yes.
they can't rest on their laurels and say we defeated the number 5 team in Lawrence North on Saturday, because the next 2 are conference games, really important, and 2 good teams, and New Pal, a possible sectional opponent,
Right.
also a very good team.
Right, they're pesky Dragons, I call them when they come to town here. So, and I'm wondering how a coach, you guys may know, with 3 games like that, with a day separating each game, you try to look at all 3 or one at a time. What do you think, Jeff?
Well, it depends on the sport. I mean, like in track, we couldn't. There's just not. It's not possible to
Sure.
to run. Every other day. You just can't do it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
we
you just
understand.
can't do it. I mean, basketball-wise, I used to coach basketball, and it's the old cliche. It's one at a time. You can't.
Sure.
You certainly can't look past. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I know. I'm sure Kerry has guys scouting ahead, but you got your focus one at a time.
Yes, yes. So today they're getting ready for Batesville.
I'm sure that he's walking through and he's going over scout and all that.
Yes. Should be an interesting week.
Should be some good basketball. Absolutely.
I would think so. Yeah, we have some good teams coming in here, and as Sam pointed out, the most important these first 2 ball games. Of course, all 3 we want to get a victory. So it should be a good week. Hope the fans turn out.
Do you
I'm sure they will.
miss being on the sidelines? I miss seeing you on the sidelines there at Spartan Bowl.
I'm
That's
back.
pretty demanding.
It's a lot. It's a lot. I'm back coaching girls soccer again and track, and it's a lot. I do miss it a little bit, but I don't miss the scouting on Friday nights or watching the tape. I don't miss that. I do miss. I miss talking to you after the game.
Oh, there you go.
That's what I miss.
Being a scout, when you go to watch another team that's on the schedule coming up, what are some of the things you look for?
Different coaches will have different scouts. They'll look for out-of-bounds plays. They'll try and get the out-of-bounds plays. They'll player tendencies.
Who's the best player?
Who's the best player? Does this guy go right or left? What's his
Okay.
tendency?
Okay.
Can you think we can pressure this guy? Just different things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But like each coach that I've coached for has a different. Some guys want you to keep a shot chart so that they know tendencies where they like to get their shot. Some guys think that's not important. So the individual head coach kind of dictates what you're going to scout, what he wants done.
Mm-hmm. You go to a ball game, you're just a fan. They think you're a fan, but you're actually a scout.
Well, we used to sneak in sometimes. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So scouting was not one of your
Wasn't my
most favorite?
Wasn't my
Oh,
favorite
okay.
thing. No,
Okay.
Wasn't my favorite thing at all.
but it's necessary.
It's absolutely necessary.
Yes, right.
Absolutely.
They use you guys as scout, and they also try to get film on the team, don't they?
I've been out so long. I think they have. It's called Huddle. I think I used to have to drive and get VCR tape.
in the old days.
That's
Old
how
days.
long ago. Okay, I think they all download it to this one central site.
Oh,
And you
okay.
can sit at your computer
Oh,
and watch
okay.
10 games of New Pal if you want.
Kelly House and Jeff Cooley, track coach and field coaches at CHS, we want to thank you for taking time out. Join us tonight, and best of luck in the season.
Thank you.
Maybe back have you here at the postseason, and you'll have some trophies and all that good stuff.
Well, I hope so.
That would be great.
Thanks, everybody, for watching this edition of the Spartan Sports Report here on TV3, and good night.